right, we're walking over into the garage real quick. I'm gonna check to see if there's a Ford power-up update. They're saying it's 3.6, I think, .2, and I'm gonna make sure everything is set up to receive that tonight. I know some guys have questions about this, and my other F-150s this year, it was a big issue about people not getting the over-the-air updates. I always seem to get them. It come in randomly. There's all kinds of stuff. Turn off your 12-volt battery to make them work, whatnot. Right now we're showing, by the way, 60% charge, 130 miles range. Just having trouble focusing at night there. Let's see, we'll turn it on and see what we got here. Let it boot up, get a little bit warm. All right, let's see. So we'll go over to features here. Let's go see if I can remember it. It's in settings. So many menus on this car. You would think after 3 F-150s I'd figure this crap out, but still doing it. Here we go, software updates. Update details. Let's see if it's gonna say if it found something. It says up to date, of course. And I don't know, it's really hard. You can go back and have a recurring schedule set up for 1 in the morning. I know I'm not driving, so it gives it a good shot to download. Yep, AirPlay's not going to connect because my phone's right here. Let's see. We'll go back one more time. We can go apps, settings. Let's see. General, maybe under here. There it is, about sync. It tells you all the info. It just doesn't tell me the last update. I can go to Ford Pass, but I don't think the Ford Pass app right now, since I haven't had an update, it's not going to tell me what it's on. But I'll trust it's good. It's all set up if it has to. I know the battery's in a good state of charge. I did see something crazy about people saying turn off your automatic headlights. So they're default to automatic. I'll turn it off here. So they're off. And I don't know, you just hear all these crazy things. I'm like, okay, why not? I'll try it. But I don't think it needs to update. It would show up here typically if an update up in this corner, if it's going to happen, if it's going to receive one. We're connected to the Wi-Fi, everything's good there. So I don't know, I think I'm actually up to date. The new stuff was supposed to be good. It's supposed to show, be able to pre-charge your battery when you're headed to a DC fast charger. So that's real nice. And again, I don't road trip or intend to road trip this truck. I may try a DC fast charger here in the next couple weeks just to try it out, make sure the Ford plug-and-play works and the EA chargers work. Just sort of want to fool around with it and just see what it's like. So I may try that if I got some spare time. There's one about 35-40 minutes away. But other than that, I don't know. I mean, we can see in the settings here. Let's see what happens if I force a route to Atlanta. Let's see. We'll just try it real quick and see if it shows the chargers. Do Atlanta Hartsfield Airport, where I work. 136 miles away. Let's see here. It's thinking about it. So go.
Obey traffic laws. Be alert and use voice commands while driving.
Yeah, we'll go full screen so we can see all that. So it's got trip overview. See where this charger is. Of course, I clicked away from it. There's my trip overview. I think it has me, charging down in Anniston right off I-20. That's a real popular one. It's Electrify America. There's also Tesla superchargers right there. Yep. Electrify America says I need 30 minutes to 57%. I would probably toggle that to change. Anyway, shows you all the info. That's sort of cool. So I don't know, the new Ford over-the-air update, power up update, said they'll now precondition your battery within 20 minutes of arriving at a fast charger. So that's cool. So I have to look into it. Like I said, I mean, this truck's 2 weeks old. It probably has the latest and greatest software. But if this is something new, I should be getting it relatively soon through the app. But the truck's set up. We've got the lights off. We'll see if that even means anything. Some guys are disconnecting their 12-volt battery up front. I'm not going to mess with that. We'll see. If I'm having trouble getting updates, we'll we'll explore that. But anyway, just a quick video on the update, and I'll add this to another driving series vlog that I'll plan to do later on this week. All right, you guys have a good one. See ya. All right, guys, here's an exterior walk around. Lightning changes with this avalanche color and all this lighting. Right now it looks like a really light white baby blue. There's my tonneau cover. We'll talk about that more. I had them swap it over from my other truck. The tonneau cover is only like 4 months old. Really enjoyed it. It's a undercover armor flex with the Line-X coating on it. It comes like that. Trifold, really happy with it. Got the lighting back here. The lights are on. The wheels I wasn't crazy about, but I've really come to like them. I definitely like the ride of the 18s better than the 20s I had on my other two F-150s. It's got the lighted running boards. I already got it tinted. It's got limo in the back and 15% up front. Looks fantastic. I also did the windshield right there. Zoom back here. It's got the front, got the running light bar. Looks pretty mean. I think the front looks pretty aggressive. Looks really neat at nighttime with it all lit up. We'll open the front frunk there. It takes a couple minutes. Got all that storage. I mean, look at how much storage is in here. And I haven't even used this at all. You got, let's see, you got the power sources here and a reset. You can open this up. There's my mobile charger, but you could put the water in there. It drains to the bottom. That's where the 12-volt battery lives. You got some tie downs. I got see about getting a cargo, stretchy cargo. Then it can hook up. I can't even think of the word, but basically get a cargo net. Gosh, that's what it is. It's too early. Anyway, get a cargo net, put that in there to secure loose groceries, that kind of thing. So a ton of space. You can fit 2 sets of golf clubs in here. And anyway, we'll close it up here. Makes that annoying beep. Doesn't annoy me too bad, but does draw attention. And there's a way to disable that if I may do that in the future. But anyway, there's a quick exterior view. I'll give a more detailed one when I detail the car later. All right, good morning here. Just another update. We are getting in the car line, leaving my kids' school this morning. A little bit chilly, not too bad. It's 55 degrees out. I've driven 9 miles, about 23 minutes, getting 2.7 miles per kilowatt hour. I did not precondition the battery last night. I parked in my other garage. We have a 3-car garage, one of which is not connected to the other one. And my main charger is in the 2-car garage. And so my wife's car was parking in there last night, and I parked in the other garage. I had plenty of charge. I was showing about 65% state charge, so I decided not to bother charging up last night. So anyway, preconditioned or no precondition, the battery's doing okay at 2.7 kilowatts here. Let's see, get out here on the road here and we'll talk. Once you get out of this traffic area, it's pretty busy. Super happy still with the truck. Like I said, I've had this 2.5 weeks. I'm getting great efficiency on it. It's just quiet, you know. I don't know if you could tell from the video, but it's just super quiet driving it. There's no noise, no transmission whine, there's no engine whine. I'm a car guy. I like exhaust noise, but this is just so quiet. It's I would put it up there with probably being quieter than the Tesla cars. I've been in Model S, I've been in Model 3 and a Model Y, and they seem to have a fair amount of road noise. I don't know if it's due to the more sporty tire profile that they have or build quality materials, but this is definitely more of a quiet ride. And I've actually noticed all the Fords that I've had this year, the windows are super quiet. They have this thing, you probably can't see it, I'd have to zoom in, but it says it's a sound screen windshield. And that just makes it super, super quiet. I don't know, just the way it's laminated. The truck's really quiet. Really happy with the build quality. There's no squeaks, you know, and you would hear stuff on this just with it being quiet. You'd hear any kind of squeaks, rattles, that kind of stuff. Been really impressed with the build quality, and I guess that's the advantage of Ford coming from their production line experience, and they've already made the 14th gen F150 a year before they started making the first Lightnings in 22. So I mean, it's pretty much, they've sort of worked out the kinks initially on the production line. So the charging situation, I mentioned I got a NEMA 1450, and that is plugged in my main garage next to my breaker panel. I had an electrician install that about a year and a half ago. I knew I was getting an electric car at some point. I just didn't know what. We had flirted with the idea of buying a Tesla Model Y Performance, and then we realized our family's too large and we'd get more utility out of a truck. So then I started, going down the standard, what kind of deposits can we make, that kind of game. And ended up, for a short time, I had a Rivian pre-order and then decided against that. And that was, I don't know, in hindsight, I sort of regret that. I think the Rivian would be perfect. But by the time that I thought about getting the Rivian again, the price had increased where it just didn't make much sense. But I stuck with the Lightning pre-order, did that in 2020. I was the first 10 minutes I could get on the computer after the presentation. I pre-ordered it. There's an e-tron. I think it's an e-tron. I keep passing a lot of Audi e-trons in town. Pretty sharp. Anyway, so I reserved really early. I was also have a deposit on the Cybertruck. I do think Tesla will produce the Cybertruck at some point, but I don't know. I'm pretty happy with this. I don't want to go with some radical design, but with Tesla, if their engineering's up to speed and it does what Elon claims it could do, I think it could be a pretty compelling pickup choice. But anyway, so it was pretty much between this, a Rivian, and a Tesla offering. I went ahead and installed the NEMA 1450. And when we ended up deciding not to get the Tesla and wait for the Lightning, I just decided, hey, we'll just keep that charge port in the garage and we'll buy a wall box at some point for whatever company we end up going with. The Ford ones, I think the ER, the extended range, it comes with a Charge Pro station. It's a pretty big unit. It needs an 80 amp breaker, so it takes a lot of power. I opted for the mobile charger for this truck, and I used it for the first couple days before I installed my Emporia wall charger. And mobile connector worked great. I know there's some folks out there saying they've had some issues with the wall chargers. I don't know if Ford has fixed it, but I used it great. It worked. I've had a full charge overnight, no issues. Plugged right into the NEMA 1450. And now that mobile charger's in a pouch in the frunk, and my plan is to just keep it in the truck for any time I may need to charge unexpectedly. At least I have that mobile connector in there, try to find somewhere to go. The Emporia unit is awesome, comes with an app. Unlike Tesla, the Ford Pass app's cool, but it doesn't track all the metrics. I can't scale the amperage up and down with the Emporia, so it was important to me to get a charger that sort of had some software where I could tweak settings. I pay about 10 cents a kilowatt hour here in Alabama, where I live, northern Alabama. And so I input that data, and now it tracks, all the kilowatts that I use. It shows really nice graphs, data by second, minute, week, month, my totals. So I can sort of keep track of that. And right now I've used about coming up on 200 kilowatts of power through the Emporia, and I think it's cost me $15, something like that. That's pretty cheap. Pretty cheap, as I mentioned. I mean, that was not the main goal of this truck. I'm not trying to save the environment by going electric. I like technology. I like going fast. This thing fits the bill on both accounts. I mean, if a byproduct is it's better for the environment, sure. I mean, I'm not going to say that's a bad thing, but it wasn't like I was some tree hugger trying to save the environment by getting an electric truck. See, it rained last night here, so the roads are sort of shining pretty bright. It's all coated with rain. I just detailed the truck yesterday, of course, so it's going to get dirty again. That's okay though. I'm leaving town for a couple days, and we'll detail it again this weekend. I mean, this truck's just effortless power. So yeah, I'm happy with the Emporia charger. Like I said, in another video, I'll focus on that. I'll show what that setup looks like in my garage. Had a neighbor ask me, why I got rid of the Power Boost. I alluded yesterday I had the Power Boost. I sort of talked about how that compared. Power Boost it's a great truck. I think it's a perfect middle of the road truck for someone that wants efficiency but just can't quite make full electric work. Like maybe you live out in the country, there's not a lot of charging, or you do a lot of towing. or you plan to take a lot of road trips, the Power Boost is pretty awesome. My main concern with the Power Boost dealt with the complexity of the truck. There were not too many issues on the forums, but I mean, you got to think, you got a motor, you got a battery, you got chargers, you got transmissions that's got to deal with that. There's just a lot of moving parts. The battery's quite small on the Power Boost. That was one of my biggest gripes. I wish that they could have scaled the battery size a little bit larger so you'd stay in electric mode more. As it was, I stayed in electric maybe a mile at a time, best stretch flat road, going about 40 miles an hour. So it just didn't last a long time. But I tell you, if you were easy on the accelerator, like I said, I had no issues getting 25, 26, 27 miles to the gallon, driving the same suburban loop where the roads are about 40 to 45 miles an hour, stop and go. It really shined. I thought the power plant was pretty seamless. After a month or so, you could tell when what you needed to press on the accelerator to keep it in all electric or to kick on the power. I thought it was pretty smooth. It wasn't abrupt. It just had a lot of power. And on chart, I know this thing has more power, and I agree. This feels like it definitely throws you back more. But that thing, Power Boost, was right there too. So I can't really knock the Power Boost. Long term, I'm curious how they hold up. I know these electric vehicles, the EV trucks, I mean, this is first gen technology, but they're sort of simple. I mean, think about it. You got the motor, you got the battery, you got all the cooling, but there's no transmission. There's a lot less mechanical parts to the EV. And so, you surf the Lightning forums. I thought there'd be a lot more issues for the first year, and there's really not many issues. I'm sure stuff will crop up. I mean, you see a few motor failures here and there. I think they're isolated, but I mean, by and large, they're reliable trucks. Yeah, compare that to the ICE versions. I mean, they got issues all the time. So I think long term, I think EVs are the way to go. I mean, I have family members that own Tesla, and their service consists of tire rotations, wiper fluid. I mean, it's real simple stuff. And I envision that the Lightning is pretty much going to be the same way. So I mean, you're just saving a lot of money between the charging and the maintenance. You come out ahead. At least that's how I justify it in my head. I do think power is going to increase. Our power down here has increased. It used to be 9 cents a kilowatt hour. Now it's creeping up 10 to 11 cents. I mean, still very cheap if you consider other parts of the nation that are paying, gosh, triple, maybe double, triple easily. So I can't complain. It's very good down here, but power does go up. I do expect that. The grid can't handle all these cars. If everyone goes to electric cars tomorrow, they can't handle it. But anyway, that's sort of more of a political discussion that I didn't really want to get into on these daily blogs or vlogs. But suffice to say, yeah, it's great right now. The power costs are really cheap. It's a no-brainer to be driving this for most of my errands around town versus my wife's vehicle. When we get home, I'll do a quick walk-around video, sort of show you the outside of it. I think I've yet to do that. I just dove right into the driving inside impressions. Right now, people talk about cold weather. So I got the seat heater on, and I got my temperature, what does it say, 66. I'm comfortable. I'm in a sweatshirt. I'm totally comfortable. It's showing, let's see here, if I can find the setting, features, and then it talks about trip energy. And there it is right here. Here's my trip energy. And if you can see, most of it is going to the route. 7% is going to the climate use. So my temperature control in the car. 6% accessories. I don't know. I don't have it really any accessories going, but I guess just all the equipment in the truck that turns on. And then 5% for the exterior temperature. So I'm pretty efficient. I'm showing 2.7 miles per kilowatt hour. Obviously, if I crank up the temperature, that's going to use a lot more climate. So that's sort of a cool gauge that you can use to see what your usage is as you drive, and if you're using too much climate control, sort of step down your climate. But like I said, I'm not going for max efficiency here. I'm around town. I've got a charger every time I go home, so I really am not too concerned about I'm more concerned about comfort. In other words, I'm not going to freeze my kids in the car, so we can eke out a little bit more efficiency on a 15-minute ride to school. All right, well, that's about enough rambling for this morning. I'll show the Ford power-up update. I took a quick video last night. I got the latest update. Of course, did some weird things. Someone said on the forum, turn off your auto headlights, and sure enough, it triggered the Ford power-up update. It's hysterical. It's like, I don't know, it's like this hidden list of instructions you need to do to get a successful download. It's funny. And I'll also walk around and do a power video. You guys have a good morning. As always, if you like it, leave questions, comments down there. Let me know what you want to see in these videos, daily driving, or if you have any questions about owning a electric car. See ya.